Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet Designs. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are working on these gorgeous little flowers that you see right here, simply divine. Now these flowers are going to be made for our wreath project that you see up on the screen now, and some of the other projects that we've already created for our wreath project. Now our wreath project was, hence the word was, an annual project, and it's been taking a little while to catch up on, but we're finally catching up on it now over the next few weeks. Now I've skipped a few months and I'm actually in the month of September. We'll go back to the other months, but I wanted to do the flowers in honour of the start of spring here in Melbourne, Australia. You could actually move your flowers around to suit your country's weather, if you will. Yeah. All right. So in the meantime, the color combination that you see right here, right now, the lovely Luana chose pink and green during one of our live antics, and the lovely Julie chose the orange and green. Now I practiced with the orange and green. I told Julie there'll be a practice flower, and there it is. Yeah, so I'm going to put that aside for now. But the lovely Luana chose the pink and the light green for our color for this month's project, if you will, for the wreath. Now Luana's one will be attached to the wreath, and we'll be doing that this time next week, so keep your eyes peeled. If you wanted to be a part of choosing the colour combination of our very next tutorial, like the lovely Luana and Julie, then join us on our lives at Saturday morning 10 a.m. Melbourne Australia Time, where we have a thing called Live Antics. We also do lives at Wednesday at 4 p.m, but Saturday morning's live, someone on the live gets to choose the colour combination of our very next tutorial. It's very exciting. It becomes a community piece. We do this every year where I get subscribers to choose colours for one of our tutorials throughout the week. So it's all very exciting. It'll be going ahead this week as well because we need to catch up on our few months worth that we haven't completed yet. But in the meantime, we are going to create this gorgeous little flower, and the yarn that we're using today, oh, it's really big. Let's bring that down a bit. There we go. Luana chose the light green and the light pink. This is 8-ply cotton, DK weight or a 3-weight yarn. All right, it's a cotton, 100% cotton. This is a little bit soft, but you can use an even more dense cotton. The problem with the dense, thicker cotton is that it will be really hard to work with. All right, I find the softer cotton works well with this sort of project. Now, beautiful Julie, she chose the dark green and the orange, and that was that one there, and that was that one there. And guess what, guys? I couldn't even weigh these. It didn't even come up as 1 gram. So you can use whatever little tiny pieces of threads that you have in your stash. It is a great stash busting project. All right, you need that yarn, and being the 8-ply yarn, it comes with the 4mm hook. But for today, to make this look a nice solid flower, I used a 3.5mm hook. All right, so if you're using a 4-weight yarn or an Aran weight, go to, it says on those, usually it says 5mm hook, go right down to 4.5. If that helps, you will need a sewing needle. You need to weave in a couple of ends. You will need that stitch marker. Definitely, if you're new to crochet, grab that stitch marker, and you will need your scissors, and you won't need much time. It doesn't take very long to create. All right, so thank you very much to the lovely Luana and the lovely Julie for their colour combination today. Good luck creating your gorgeous flower. Alrighty guys, we're going to start off by making a magic loop or a magic circle or a magic ring. Grab the tail end of your yarn and popping it in front like so. Grab the working end of your yarn and wrap it around your fingers, crossing over, forming a little X. Get a nice close-up now. Grabbing your hook, popping it under the first loop, pulling the back loop up and through like so. Now you need to just grab everything. Try not to move it. You can pass it back into that hand there, like so, and try not to move your work. Now you need to chain, and a chain is yarn over your hook, pull a loop through, once. Give it a big tug like so. And in the same space, you are doing a single crochet US terminology, double crochet in the UK. So you're popping your hook in that space and you're going over the 2 threads on this side. So you're pulling your loop through like so. And you've got 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through both those loops. What we're going to do is just give that little tail a little bit of a tug, not too much, because we're going to fill it up with single crochets. All right, it's just to make it so we can work better. We're going to pop another one in the center. So you're popping your hook in, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both those loops. Now you don't need to let go for a minute. I just wanted to show you that this is the single crochet US terminology, double crochet in the UK terminology. What we do need to do is place a stitch marker in the very first stitch we created. So grab your stitch marker, and this is the stitch we've just created now, where the 2 loops are there. Oh, don't pull that too tight. The one right next to it is where you want to pop your stitch marker. And where you are popping it is the top 2 loops of the stitch, like so. All right. If you're new to crochet, my suggestion would be to pop a piece of thread in there, safety pin, whatever you've got in stock, because it's going to be hard to slip stitch into at the end of this round. Yeah. So we've done 2 single crochets US terminology and 2 in UK, which is the double crochet. So we're going to do another 4 more. So 2, we're going to do 6 altogether. This is your 3rd one. Oops, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You should have 6 altogether, and the way you count them is these little V looking things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th one is tucked right there. So what you're going to do now, let me bring this out a little bit so you can have a look, is you're going to grab your little tail and you're going to give it a tug, and it will close the center of your work. All right, and now we are going to slip stitch into the very first stitch that we created, which was this one right here. All right, so the slip stitch is, you're not doing anything fancy, you're just popping your hook, move the tail out the way, popping your hook in the stitch with your stitch marker. All right, so taking out that stitch marker for now, and you are pulling a loop through that stitch that you just popped your hook into. Just tighten it up a little bit, and then pull it through to the loop on your hook. And what you have is a round piece of work with 6 stitches. Yarn over your hook and pull a loop through. We're going to cut our work already, like so. All right, so that's what you have so far. Now grabbing your new colour, and Luana chose pink as her new colour. And this is what I mean by using up your stash. Have a look at this. This is just tiny little bits of pink that I had in my stash. The yarn that she chose was a lot bigger, but this is leftovers that I had in my stash. And you can actually see that I have used this before. So use up all your little scraps that you don't need anymore. And trust me, you can make some gorgeous things with small bits of yarn. Yeah. All right. So now we have this little round piece. Yeah. You want to pop your hook into any stitch. I like to go away from the stitch that I just closed off. You can pop it there if you like, but I'm going to pop it in, I don't know, just an opposite side. It doesn't have to have any count. All you need to do is pop it in the top 2 loops of your tight stitch, like so. Grab your pink, pop it over your hook, pull that loop through like that. All right. Now grab your little tail of your pink, just passing it forward because we're going to lock it into place and, you know, make it a little knot and crochet over it and the rest of it. Yeah. So first thing we're going to do is chain 1, 2, and 3. You don't need any stitch markers in this round. Okay. The first stitch is a half treble in the US terminology, or a half double treble in the UK. All right. So yarn over your hook. You're going to pop your hook in the same stitch that you are in. Pull a loop through. We're going over that pink tail. Pull a loop through like so. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through just 1 loop. You still have 3 loops left. yarn over, pull through 2 loops. You still have 2 loops left. Yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. All right, and that's a half treble US or a half double treble in the UK. All right, so now it's yarn over your hook twice. We're going to do a treble US or a double treble in the UK. So pop your hook in the stitch, the same space we're in, pull a loop through like so. You should now have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, 3 loops left. Yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops, like so. 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. And that is your treble. Look how tall that is. Or double treble in the UK. All right, so now you're going back to your half treble or your half double treble. So yarn over your hook, UK by the way, pop your hook in the stitch, pull a loop through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through just 1. 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Now you are going to do the chain 3 that we did in the beginning. 1, 2, and 3. And right down there at the base of the stitch again, you're going to slip stitch into the stitch, crocheting over your pink tail still. So pop your hook in the same stitch, pull a loop through, and pull the loop through to the loop on your hook. What I want you to do now is just grab that pink tail and just pass it at the back. You probably could have passed it at the back before. It wouldn't have done anything, to be fair. All right, so that's your tail out the way for starters, and that is 1 petal done. All right, now you're going to slip stitch directly into the very next green stitch right there. Okay, you can see it, don't skip it or you'll be 1 stitch less. So pop your hook in the stitch, pull a loop through, pull it through to the loop on your hook, and you are going to do this all over again. Chain 1, 2, and 3. And now you're going to do your half treble or your half double treble in the UK. So yarn over your hook, pop your hook into the stitch, pull a loop through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through just 1, 3 loops left, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through the last 2. And now you're doing your treble or your double treble in the UK. Yarn over your hook twice, into the stitch, pull a loop through, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, 3 loops left, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops, 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. And once again, you're going to do the half treble. Pop your hook in, pull a loop through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 1, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2. And now you're going to do your 3 chains again. 1, 2, and 3. I'm hoping you're getting the picture here. Slip stitching back into the same stitch you are in. Pull the loop through, tighten it up a little, and pull it through to the loop on your hook. Once again, you're going to go and slip stitch right into the very next stitch you see, which is there. Pull a loop through like so. And once again, you're going to start your petal all over again with the chain 3 and your half, like so, and your double. Remember, there's 4 in the double. I'm sorry, let's try treble. My apologies, sorry. And your half. And then your chains. 1, 2, and 3. Slip stitch back into the stitch, pull a loop through, and pull it through to the loop on your hook. You now officially have 1, 2, and 3. You need to have 6 altogether. Let's just pass that tail at the back so it's out of the way. So you need to be able to do another 3 more. So 1 will go right into that tight one there. One will go there, and the reason I'm saying this is because that knot can be real tricky. So we're going to go right into the stitch of the knot, okay? So pull the loop through and pull it through to the loop on your hook, and you are now into the 4th stitch with your 1, 2, 3, your half through the 1, through the 2, through the last 2, and now you're doing your full treble, US, double treble UK, and then you're doing your half, 2, 2, and then you are chaining your 3, 1, 2, and 3. It's a very repetitive stitch. See, it's a tricky stitch, but it is actually a repetitive stitch, yeah? And now you're going to go right into the very next stitch, which is right there. Pull a loop through and do your 5th set. You've got 4. You need to do 5. So chain 1, 2, and 3. This is your, I'm sorry, you need to do 6, not 5. Come on, Mary, get it right. This is your 5th one. Don't forget this is the double. Your yarn goes over it twice to do your treble. In the US, double treble UK. And your half in the 1, and then the 2, and then the last 2. And then you chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch right down into the stitch. I was about to do a single. We don't want to do a single. We want to do a slip stitch. And just pull that through to the loop on your hook like that. All right. And from there, you're going directly into the very last stitch. Don't skip it. It's right there, or you'll be 1 set short. Pop your hook in, pull a loop through, pull it through to the loop on your hook, and complete your set. 1, 2, 3, and then your half, treble, double treble UK, half double treble UK. And, oops, I nearly made a mistake. You need to put your yarn over your hook twice for a full treble, US, full double treble UK. And make sure you're going through the 3 times altogether. Then you are doing your half again, going through that first 1, and then the 2, and then the last 2, and chaining 3. 1, 2, and 3. And once again, you're going to slip stitch into the same stitch that you are in. A little tricky because it's very full here. So slip stitch into there, like so. And from here, you're actually going to slip stitch way back into that very first stitch that you started in. So pop your hook in, pull a loop through. So I've got to pull it real tight because mine is loosening up. And then just pull it through to the loop on your hook. Pull a loop through, and guess what? The hard part's done. Seriously, that's it. The rest is now just weaving in ends. Just give it a tug. If you give it a nice tug, it hides your knot at the back. All right, now your gap has opened up here. You're going to weave that end in a little bit, but you're not going to cut it. No, you can cut it because we can use this thread to sew onto our piece. Now, if you've left your tails really, really short, you still need to weave them in. You can use another thread to sew that onto the piece. But whilst we're weaving in ends, I wanted to talk to you real quickly about the other things you can use your piece for. If you, not if, you still need to weave that first end in. Once you've weaved in this first end, you can pop a magnet, double-sided magnet, on the back of your flower, and it can be a fridge magnet for a family, a friend, someone that you share a beautiful flower connection with, that sort of thing, whatever. But it can be used for other things than our wreath. So give this a big tug and you'll see it's closed up. Yeah, you still need to weave this end in. Don't let anyone tell you you've crocheted over it, it's not going to come undone. It can. These magic circles can come undone, and all you're doing is finding some stitches at the back. It's a little tricky with the thinner cotton. Make sure you can't see the needle from the front, and just put them through as best you can. Don't fuss too much with ours because ours is going to get attached to a wreath. Or if you're putting a magnet on, it's going to have a magnet there, but you still need to weave that end in. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. All right, so what I'm going to do is just do one more. We don't need too much. Oh, that was very thick. Might have come through. No, it hasn't. Just means that the stitching is real thick. All right, so I'm going to cut this one because I'm going to use this to attach to the wreath. Now, if you didn't want to attach it to the wreath and you're wanting to use it for, whatever else you want to use it for, then you need to weave that end just inside your threads here. We're going to weave one pink end in, and this one here, we're going to use that to help attach to the wreath as well. Because if you don't attach it, you don't have to. You could leave it, floppy. It can actually, when you put your wreath up, when you hang it up, it can kind of flop down. And I want my flowers to actually stick to the wreath. Oh, look at that. I'm going to thread this off air. Give me one moment, guys. All right, so that was a bit traumatic for me. Threading it off air took forever. All right, so we've crocheted over this tail. We want to weave it back in. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back into the same space, but just go over your first stitch, like split it a little bit, like that. You see that split a little bit? And then go through some of the green underneath. Make sure you can't see the needle from the front here. And just pop that through like so. Guess what? Not enough. We're going to do it one more time. Again, you don't want to go in the same stitch you are in or you're going to unravel what you've done. So just pop your needle under some stitching from wherever you want to pop it under and then pop it through your stitch. Just check you can't see the needle from the front. Good. And that's it. We really just need the two because we've already crocheted over it once. And there you go. All right, and that is the end of your piece. Now what we're going to do next week, we're going to attach it to the wreath using these two ends. All right, so thank you very much for joining us today, and a very special thank you to the lovely Luana for her colour combination and the lovely Julie for her colour combination for our next project for the wreath. Join us in a week's time where we will be attaching this particular item and all of these other projects that you see right here that we need to attach to our wreath. We will be doing that in a week's time, and then a few days later we'll be doing the very next wreath project. So get excited for that. And don't forget, guys, to also join me at 4 p.m. Wednesday afternoons, 10 a.m. Saturday mornings, Melbourne Australia time. We have our lives, we have a lot of fun, and you as a subscriber can get to choose the colour combination of our very next tutorial. Get way too excited. Thank you very much for joining me, and ciao for now. How gorgeous are these flowers? I don't know which one I love the best.